Over the years, I've played a lot of Skyrim follower mods, from Vilya to Rigmor, Lucian, and most recently, Ash. But one that I never got around to was Kaidan. And just when I was thinking of finally giving it a shot, a brand new version of the mod released. Today, we're taking a look at Kaidan Revoiced, a rebuilt from the ground up and remastered version of the original Kaidan mod. With a brand new voice actor playing the titular character, rewritten lines, redone code, new assets, and so on, to really give players a brand new experience. Kaidan Revoiced is still a work in progress, but at its release already includes the character's 2 personal quests, commentary for Skyrim's main questline, some dialogue for the guilds and Dawnguard DLC, along with Kaidan's own custom mount, a romance questline, and a brand new player home. The mod comes with no requirements, aside from needing a new save game if you're playing Kaidan for the first time. This is incompatible with the original Kaidan 2 mod, or any mods that attempt to manage custom followers. To get started, you can find Kaidan within the abandoned prison. While it's not required to bring him along for the entirety of Skyrim's main questline, his story does tie into it at least a bit. For instance, during the Diplomatic Immunity quest, in which you break into the Corsair Embassy, you can find a dossier that's important to Kaidan's story. If you've already completed the quest, however, and missed it, a backup copy can be found in Northwatch Keep. For these videos, I started a brand new character and I went to grab Kaidan pretty early on. I won't be playing through Skyrim's main story in the videos themselves, since I assume you've seen Skyrim before, but I will be showing his quests in full, and I'll make sure to talk about his commentary and inclusion for what I've played of the main story in the review portion for this series.
When I get out of here, I'll kill you all myself.
Easy now, I'm here to help. You're not really in a position to be making threats here.
Tell me that again, when I tear your spine out your... Wait, you're not with the Thalmor, are you?
Nope.
Quick, get me free from here before more come.
I'm kinda obviously a Nord and not, Altmer, Who are you?
Kaidan. My name is Kaidan.
I've been saying Kaidan this whole time because, I'm thinking of Mass Effect, frankly. So, sorry. Why are you in here?
Well, the Thalmor invited me to high tea. What do you think? I don't know. Some justiciars ambushed me outside of Falkreath.
Well, there must be more to it than that.
Choking on my own blood, and you want my life story? Look, I don't know. I just keep asking about the blades and the sword I had. Please, just help me out of here.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll get you free.
Oh, you're a lifesaver.
Kaidan, huh? Well, I guess I gotta re-record the intro. Oh, are you just gonna walk off without me? No? Oh, okay, you just... You have to step away from the wall to fall down. Well, I've got a healing potion here.
Oh, bold miracle, that stuff. Thank you.
Sorry, I don't have healing hands yet. Well, let's get out of here.
Wait, there's one more thing. One of the Thalmor got his hands on my sword. I know I've got no right to ask, but I could use your help getting it back.
The sword is that important? I would want my sword back too, I get it.
This isn't me being sentimental. They kept asking about it. If it's important to them, they shouldn't have it.
Where did he go?
Headed deeper into the prison, and with luck, he's cornered like a rat.
Alright. It's this weird thing of... I can't tell if he's supposed to be 30 or 60. Just, there's something about the facial features that make it kind of hard to gauge how old he is, or how old he's supposed to be. Oh, you're named!
Foos!
Well, look at that. Oh, I hit him in the back. Ooh, you're Well,
Mercy!
you know, if I did hit you in the back, if I did scar you, you wouldn't be able to tell what I did, because you got a lot more going on back there. Well, we got his key. Here we go. Hold on, just... Sorry, still early on in a save game, still early on in a playthrough. I need every skill book I can get. Wait, where was your stuff then? Oh, it's gonna be here. Got it. You got your armor, your bow. No sword, though. Do you... Oh, I can't talk to him. So, I will take everything. Oh, you still don't want to talk. Maybe I shouldn't have taken all that. I'm gonna put it back real quick. Sorry. Well, I thought it was gonna be in there, in my defense. Oh, it's over here. Okay. I thought it was gonna be in, well, in the chest.
Son of a bitch had it coming. I can't thank you enough. I know you didn't have to help me.
I really didn't. What's the story with the sword?
The question on everyone's mind, even mine. The sword belonged to my mother. I never knew her, but it's my only clue to finding out who she was. Listen, I owe you my life, and I'm not a man who's comfortable being in debt. If you ever have need of me, I'd be glad to fight alongside you till that debt is repaid.
Well, I'd be glad to have you travel with me.
I am your sword and your shield.
And your warbow. Do you want to take your stuff then? Yeah, that's almost kind of weird that he doesn't take it.
Yes?
Can we trade?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I wasn't sure because some followers do the thing of, oh, you can't trade with them immediately.
All right.
You can't access that until you gain their trust and whatnot.
You found the rest of my gear.
Oh, there we go.
Mind if I get that armor back? It's been my second skin for years now.
Yep, alright. Well, it's weird that you didn't seem to worry about it before, yeah.
Alright, here you go.
Yeah, I will give you everything. It was right behind me this whole time, you know? You got your sword and then you went, you know, to hell with the rest of it. So I wonder if we can start some of the conversations with him now, or if we need to go somewhere else. Do you have a moment?
Aye.
Okay, yeah, so this is one of the just menu options. Nicknames, battle, pronouns. Nicknames. I like nicknames. Call me Big Booty Lady. Ooh, call me Trouble.
Alright, Trouble.
Maybe not. Call me Sunshine?
Alright, Sunshine.
Okay, I like that more. I don't know why I like that a little bit more. Any thoughts?
Nothing important.
That's usually what I have to say. Tell me about yourself.
Of course. What were you wondering?
What are your best skills?
I was trained from a young age in many combat styles, though my focus was on two-handed weapons and polearms. A halberd might be better for the battlefield, but my favourite weapon has always been the longsword. I'm damn near unbeatable. What's got you curious?
Oh, okay, same conversation. Will there be another thing he says then?
I know how to move in heavy armour, and I can take a beating. Light armour, not so much.
Okay.
I'll always prefer a skin of steel, not leather.
I do believe that to move this along, we need to go somewhere else. We need to
Aye.
leave the prison and find somewhere to rest. So, let's go do that.
I have something for you.
Oh?
A Nord war horn, carved from a bit of tusk. Use it if we ever get separated. I'll hear it, and I'll be able to find you.
Alright, so, what happened with the Thalmor anyway?
I guess I owe you that. I've been trying to find a way to cross the border into Pale Pass. Ever since Torrig was killed, It's been near impossible to get into Skyrim without a stack of papers for the Empire to keep track of you.
Tell me about
I've
it.
been picking up bounty contracts to put some coin back in my pocket. I must have drawn too much attention to myself. I was camping by the lake when they ambushed me. It seems the Thalmor don't need much evidence to bring in a suspect. They took one look at that sword, decided I'd be a good target for interrogation, and dragged me off to that prison.
Really, the sword? The sword was the reason for that? Weren't you scared?
Brynjar used to say, if you're not a little afraid, you're not understanding the situation. Fear I can deal with easily enough. But there was a moment or two when I thought it might really be the end for me. The Thalmor would never have let me go, no matter what I told them. You've faced down mortality too. Perhaps you know the feeling.
I don't fear death, yes, but fighting back is the only way to beat it. I'm gonna be cryptic too. More than you know.
Apologies, I didn't mean to prod old wounds. But after all this happened, you're still standing.
I'm like Elton John. The Thalmor will come after you again, you know.
Probably. And I'll be ready for them. Live and learn, right?
Well, you know, while we're here, what do you think of Whiterun?
The defences here are worrying. There are no ramparts on the walls, and the surrounding land is too flat. Makes the strategic layout of the city all but pointless.
Also, the outer walls are kind of falling apart, so that's not really good for them either were there to be a siege, you know, like during a civil war. Perhaps, but these are hard times, it would be difficult to build.
But vital if the city is to survive an attack. This country's at war. If not with itself, then soon again with the Thalmor.
Are you always so on edge? He's right. I will give him that.
I've been taught my whole life to stay aware of my surrounds. It's one of the reasons I'm still alive.
So one thing that I didn't realize was that I specifically need to choose the less rest here option to unlock certain conversation topics.
Aye, I think we've earned it.
I thought I just needed to be, you know, somewhere relaxing, so that's my bad. How are you doing, Kay?
Your shoulder's acting up
Kai.
a bit after the
It would be
last brawl,
Kai.
but nothing
Sorry.
to complain about. How are you holding up?
I'm doing alright.
That's good to know.
Okay, so I think now we can finally get into this. What brings you to Skyrim?
I've spent a long time wandering. This is where my feet led me.
There's gotta be more than that. You're the one who controls your feet.
Aye, isn't there always? To own the truth, I've come back to Skyrim to learn something of my heritage. My bloodline. The few clues I have pointed me here, but it takes time to decode, so I'm paying my way by collecting bounties.
You don't really look like a Nord. You have no family to ask?
Not anymore. Perhaps I do have blood kin out there, but I've never known them.
You don't really look like a Nord.
Well, aren't you observant? I was raised by a Nord, and as one. But no, that Atmoran ice doesn't run in my veins. I can't be certain what does.
Time to invent Tamriel 23andMe. You don't know your own race? Don't you just look at your stats menu? Don't you just look at your active effects and all that? Come on.
No. I have no voice of the Emperor, no dragon skin magic. I don't know the race of my mother. All I have is a hunch.
Okay, never mind.
I need proof.
He heard me. He knew exactly what I was getting at. Well, perhaps I could help you solve this.
You'd do that? Well, I suppose I could use the help. The best clue I have is my sword, but I'm certain we can find out more in our travels.
About your sword.
Aye?
Because I do have the book? Okay, I recognize the runes on the blade. This is written in the dragon language, in Dovazul.
It is. Strange that they would write in dragon and not Akaviri. Can you translate it?
Zu kin mindoran dovazul. I think I could translate this for you with a little more time.
I appreciate it. Just don't burn yourself out over it.
Okay, there we go. All of this passed. Find a way to translate the runes on his sword. Were you gonna ask something?
You know, I'm curious about you.
Thank you.
Where are you from?
I've lived in many places. Skyrim is only one of them.
A fellow wanderer, then. I'm curious to hear what you've encountered in your time.
How are you doing?
I'm doing alright. How are you holding up?
I'm doing alright.
I'm glad to hear it.
Are you always so serious? Don't you know any jokes?
I know of them.
No. Come on, give it a go.
Alright.
Oh.
What do you get when you cross a joke with a rhetorical question?
A nosy Lydia. Oh. I get it. It was pretty bad, but I get it.
You asked for it.
Oh, he laughed. Well, that's important. That's the most important part. After this, there's a couple things you'll need to do in order to move his story forward. You'll need to translate the runes on his sword, which require the player to learn more words of power, 15 in total, or to find a new book about the dragon language. This can be purchased from a new character named Ren, who can usually be found in the Bard's College. You'll also need to defeat the dragon at Kynesgrove in order to unlock the next conversation with Kaidan. The next step after this was to complete the quest Diplomatic Immunity, like I mentioned during the intro. During this, you'll find a dossier that pertains to Kaidan, and this will move his quest along again.
You sure know how to be the life of the party. Let's get a head start, while the Thalmor are still chasing their tails.
So one thing I'm going to add is I think I might have grabbed a couple things out of order. I'm not sure if this was to show him the dossier yet, because I think I ran into an issue later on.
Guess we better get moving.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back home, rest, relax, go through all the conversations with him, and then see where I am before giving him the dossier. The long story short being that I think I am supposed to have the conversation with him about the runes on his sword before giving him the dossier, because I played ahead and hit a little bit of a wall, and I'm just gonna try and do this and see if this is the right way to do it. My main concern is that there might just be some very specific triggers for
What
this
did you want to know?
move the quest along. Will you tell me more about your story?
I was raised by a Nord, Brynjar. He was a bounty hunter, so I spent most of my childhood travelling Tamriel and crisscrossing Skyrim. Of course, as I go on, I'm finding there was more to it than that. The constant moving, teaching me how to live in the wilderness. Training me every day to fight. I learned how to use a sword before I even learned how to read.
Sounds like you had a pretty odd childhood.
For my 13th birthday, he took me on a hunting trip in the wilderness. And when I woke the next morning, he was nowhere to be found. All he'd left me was some flint, a knife, and an empty water skin. It took me 2 days to get back to civilization, but
2 days?
I learned the importance of self-sufficiency by then.
It's Skyrim, you walked 5 minutes. Why would he do that?
I think Brynjar was running from something. And he spent my whole life teaching me how to defend myself from whatever it was. Not that he ever told me. He was always vague about his past. And even more about mine. Always promising to tell me one day, then dying before he ever got around to it. That run-in with the Thalmor seems to have shed some light on it, though.
And your mother?
No, I don't know much about my mother. Only that the sword I have once belonged to her, or so Brynjar told me. He also said she was brave, and beautiful and clever, but never anything actually useful. After his death, I took up the job of bounty hunting. It was all I knew, really, and it's led me to some interesting places. And some other years, well, perhaps the less said about parts of my past, the better.
You don't want to tell me?
It's not something worth retelling. So, Delphine is a blade. In that case, I can't blame her for being so elusive. I wouldn't mind picking her brain if I get the chance.
Yeah, so I didn't have these conversation topics earlier because I just hadn't rested with him enough at home. So there's a little bit of a delay now. I'm now getting caught up, but I kind of progressed the main questline of Skyrim a little faster than was intended for where his questline kind of kicks off and how it ties into that. Well, the blades use swords just like yours.
That's what the Thalmor kept suggesting too. It had me thinking. If this sword belonged to my mother, could it mean she may have been part of that order? Brynjar used to tell me the very early blades were Akaviri, and if she was Akaviri and a blade, it might explain Brynjar's secrecy, seeing how they and everyone connected to them were hunted down. Of course, the sword could also have just been won in a game of dice.
You jumped to your mom being Akaviri very, very quickly, is all I have to say.
Aye?
Okay, so, Delphine still has the books because she just has the rest of my gear. I'm gonna go grab the dragon language book, come back here, and hopefully then we can move things forward.
Aye?
And here we go. I've got it. Tovit Kruzik Ketsek Okoron. Search the ancient bones of enemies.
You bloody genius. It's cryptic, but it's definitely pointing somewhere. Bones of enemies. Well, the blades never wanted for enemies. The Thalmor, the dragons, the mythic dawn. I'll have to think about this.
Okay, find more clues to the cryptic message.
Eh? Nothing really.
Okay. I'm just gonna save real quick, but I'm wondering if, the dossier is that hint.
Something on your mind?
You should take a look at this.
By the nine, this is a Thalmor dossier. How'd you get your hands on this? Or perhaps I shouldn't ask. So, they confirmed the locations of Akaviri clans scattered throughout Skyrim, and which were linked to the blades. God, this is a recount of genocide.
And perhaps that's the ultimate goal of the Thalmor.
That wouldn't surprise me. They see themselves as Aedra, imprisoned on Nirn, and all races of men beneath them. Brynjar Lodbrok. I never knew his full name. At least I now know what he was running from.
There's no proof that every clan is gone.
Yes, you're right. This dossier is an incredible lead. It says the Reach village site is closed off, and there's nothing that remains of the far north settlement. But perhaps there's something they missed. This last site, I think, could be that closed-up mine in the rift.
Well, it could be worth investigating.
Agreed. It's not urgent enough to go out of our way, but should we pass by the Northwind Mountain, I'd like to explore it.
Okay, yep. That is how it's supposed to go.
Aye.
You don't want to give him the dossier until he has specifically asked you to find the clues, otherwise you can lock yourself out of it, because that's what I had done previously. I had to reload, and I'm only showing you the more correct way to do it. So this is just kind of serving as a little bit of a warning, and also as a note of...
The waiting.
I'd like to maybe see a patch, a fix to make sure that you can't accidentally lock yourself out by doing a couple things out of order. It just seems like some of the triggers might be somewhat specific, so it could be easier for people to miss out on certain parts of the quest line. Alright, Northwind Summit. It'll take a second to get there, but let's go right now. Here we go. Northwind Mine discovered. Well, what do you think?
Yes?
I was wondering if it'd be like, oh, we can rest here. I was wondering if I could tell him to relax. Oh, wait a second.
What do you need?
You got anything to eat?
I don't have much on me. Here, meet up.
Oh, okay. You know what? That works.
Right,
because he made it sound like he was struggling to figure out what to give me. Yeah, giving me a single apple would indeed make sense in that case. If he had handed me like a full meal, then that would have been a little weirder.
Foos!
I'm wondering if maybe we'll talk about it a little bit more, but I do feel like he jumped very quickly from I don't know what race I am to him very quickly going, oh, well, you know what? I'm probably Akaviri. I feel like we did slightly jump to that, where he jumped to that conclusion pretty fast. I assume that's the direction it's going in, and that's why he looks so distinct, why he looks so different, but was just kind of funny how quickly he went, yep, Akaviri. I'm Akaviri, my mom was Akaviri. That skeleton,
my blade.
probably Akaviri. I need you to move.
Oh, easy now.
Because the ancient blades... Alright.
Careful there.
Yeah, okay, alright. The ancient blades were Akaviri, but there hadn't been any real mention of
I've had worse.
Akaviri people for a long time.
Excuse me?
Oh, you're excused. Oh boy. Dragon time. Imagine that was a quest. Dragon, a friendly dragon, and I wasn't supposed to attack him, but I don't think that's the case.
Bastard.
And there he goes. The one thing I will say about playing with Kaidan at a lower level is that Kaidan does quite a bit of damage on his own. He also went down there, but he does a lot more damage than I do, so having him early on can be very helpful and very useful.
I've got your back, Dragonborn!
There we go. I'm just gonna let the dragon die. I'm just gonna absorb his soul before I, worry about the objective, you know? And let's see what we have around here. There's gonna be a clue, there's gonna be something. Also a word.
Look at that view. An incredible place to build a settlement.
It must have been important in the Merethic era, looking at the ruins.
No wonder dragons are already looking to claim it back. I might take a closer look at the runes carved into the word wall, or see if there's other messages left around here.
And... okay, so yeah, then it does tell me where to go. Ooh, the Shaman's Ring. Spells cost 3% less to cast, and 500 gold. Which, yeah, you can see the dragon language right here. Well, what do you think?
Something on your mind?
There was a hidden cache in the rubble.
What did you find? Huh. Looks like it was left behind by the villagers. I can see now why they may have decided to leave messages written in the dragon language. Akaviri symbols on Nordic ruins would have been too obvious.
The runes on the cache translate to search Vinturuth Tomb.
One of the dragon burial mounds, perhaps. I wonder what's been left there.
Well, one way to find out.
Alright then.
Ooh, okay, I was gonna say, what do we do if the dragon's not risen yet? But here we go. Search hollowed out rock. Ooh, Akaviri Targe. Amulet of Silent Flame. Gold letter and a starlight circlet. Okay, I took everything because sometimes you have to take the note and then read the note. Other times you have to read the note, then take the note. I never know because everything's different. I've played mods that do both versions of it. But I'm wondering if... Yeah, I might need to read it in there. So I'm gonna put the sealed letter back. I can't because it is a quest item. Let me read it, see if I can give it to him, and then we'll see. My beloved son, Kaidan, if the gods allow it, I will be standing at your side when you uncover these heirlooms. But with events unraveling as they are, I've come to understand this may never be. I realize now I may be writing my last words to you. As your father used to say, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Like some of the other surviving Akaviri, our bloodline was charged with preserving and protecting what relics and information we had left, until the last Dragonborn arrived and the Dragon Guard could return to their true purpose. What you find here are some such treasures. Guard them, and use their power to protect yourself in turn. I have left more in the world for you, and have faith that if you discover these, you will find the rest. At this moment in time, I can't predict what else is safe to write, or how much you know of your family and clan. I have faith that if the worst should happen, Tarbin or Brynjar will protect you as they have promised me. I will leave you instead with something else you must know above all else. You have been the light of my life, my child. As I write this, I hold you sleeping in my lap, so small and new, and yet even now I see the shades of the man you will become. Even if my worst fears are realized and I cannot be there to raise you, do not ever doubt how much you are loved or how proud I am to be your mother. Oh, I thought that was gonna be the end of it. Okay, nope, it was not. For some nights now I have dreamt of you, not as the infant in my arms, but as a grown man. You walk over snow and ice in the darkest of night when the sun finally rises and turns the sky to fire. Dragons soar from the horizons. I cannot help thinking that as the era and the empire spirals to its end, you will be there to see the great rebirth from the ashes. Remember this. When misrule takes its place at the 8 corners of the world, when the brass tower walks and time is reshaped, when the thrice-blessed fail and the red tower trembles, when the dragonborn ruler loses his throne and the white tower falls, when the snow tower lies sundered, kingless, bleeding. Hey, I know that one. The World Eater awakens and the wheel turns upon the last Dragonborn. You may be the last of our clan alive to see it. I close this letter now with desperate hope it is not the end. With all the love in my heart, May. I hope this works.
What do you need?
Okay, there was a cache buried within the cairn.
This must have been what the first clue meant. Search the bones of our ancient enemies. The dragon burial mounds. It's not as if they could have predicted the dragons would be brought back to life.
Well, you say that. There was a letter with the relics. You need to read it.
What? Let me see. By the gods. Can it be possible? After all these years.
Mama! Are you okay?
Yeah. Yes. I'm alright. It's just... There's a lot written here I need to take in. Excuse me.
It's a little emotional, I get it.
My blade is
Oh no, alright, okay. I thought I heard something in the background. I thought I did hear something. Okay, I don't think it messed it up. I think we're good. I'm gonna ask this and he's gonna say, let's go home.
Not right now.
That's what I thought. Alright.
Alright.
Alright. Let's go home.